Even though all the parks and resort hotels are closed at Disney World right now, things are not totally shut down. There are still some things happening in Disney World during the closure, and we've got all the details. With all the parks and hotels closed, you might expect to see tumbleweeds blowing through the streets at the moment, but believe it or not, Disney property isn't completely abandoned. Here are 8 things that are still happening in Disney World right now to make sure it's ready for you when the parks reopen. First up, animals are still being cared for at Animal Kingdom. Yes, everyone can breathe a big sigh of relief. All of your favorite furry, feathered, and scaly friends at Animal Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge are still being tended to by Disney's Animal Care Team. The Animal Care Team is a group of highly trained experts, and it's pretty close to business as usual for them. They're still feeding, cleaning, and observing all of the animals as scheduled. In fact, the Animal Care Team has a few new additions to look after as well. A member of the team recently shared that a baby porcupine was born at Animal Kingdom back on February 25th, and while she's not a brand new baby, she did make her social media debut on March 24th. But there's an even younger, but definitely not smaller, baby as well. A Hartman zebra foal was born on March 21st, and she's already about 65 pounds. She hasn't received her name yet, but she is so cute. You guys will definitely be on the lookout for her the next time we make it back to Animal Kingdom. And if you really need your Animal Kingdom fix, Disney has some online content available to help you out. The Disney Animals series is available for free online at DisneyNow.com or on the Disney Now app. The short videos include footage of some adorable animals, including baby giraffes, baby elephants, tiger cubs, and more. Also happening on Disney property, the golf courses are still open. That's right, even though all of the Disney parks, hotels, and Disney-owned properties at Disney Springs are closed, the Walt Disney World golf and foot golf courses are open for regular hours. The website states that they're monitoring the situation closely and are in contact with health officials for advice on what measures can be taken to help ensure the safety of all guests and cast members. The site also suggests that guests frequently check the schedule page since they could make changes to the schedule at any time. Keep in mind that the miniature golf courses are closed. This only applies to the real full-size golf courses. If you do happen to find yourself in the area during the closure and there is not a stay-at-home mandate in place, you might want to check this out if you're in need of some fresh air. Just make sure to keep plenty of distance between yourself and any other golfers. Also happening on Disney World property, security is still patrolling the resorts. Now we know you missed the parks, but don't get any ideas about sneaking in during the closure. Essential employees are still working during the closure, and security definitely counts as essential. Disney's security staff will be monitoring the property and using video surveillance to make sure everything stays in order while the parks are closed. Disney takes safety super seriously, and this is not something they're going to mess around with. Once the parks reopen, we expect there will be extra measures in place to ensure guest safety, so we're sure there's also plenty of security powwows happening right now to make sure that happens. Also, getting the parks ready for your return, the horticulture team is still working. You can find flowers, hedges, and various greenery throughout the Disney parks, but the green thumbs are focused on Epcot at this time of year. The annual Flower and Garden Festival kicked off in Epcot on March 4th, less than 2 weeks before the parks were shut down. But just like the animals at Animal Kingdom, the plants at the Flower and Garden Festival don't care that the park is closed. They still need to be tended to. Fear not, friends, the horticulture team is still taking care of the festival topiaries and plants. And that's not an easy task. There are nearly 70,000 blooms just surrounding the lakes in Future World as part of the festival, plus there are hundreds of mini gardens floating on top of the water. There are various other gardens throughout the festival as well, including the Bamboo Garden in the China Pavilion, Shakespeare Garden in the UK Pavilion, and the Goodness Garden Butterfly House near the Imagination and the Land Pavilions. Add in the 23 topiary displays, and the horticulture team has quite a job to keep up with. The Flower and Garden Festival is scheduled to run through June 1st, so if you do happen to make it to Epcot before the festival packs up for the year, don't worry, you won't be seeing a bunch of wilted topiaries. Now this is a super fun one. Imagineers are still filing permits. With construction around Disney World being halted, we weren't expecting to see much happen as far as building permits for at least the next few weeks, so we were shocked when we saw 2 permits pop up the week after the parks were closed. Both permits are for demolition at the address registered as Stitch's Great Escape in Magic Kingdom. If you're not familiar with Stitch's Great Escape, there's good reason. It's a show in Tomorrowland that has operated only on a seasonal schedule since October of 2016. When it did run, the attraction was a dark and surprisingly scary theater in the round show that featured the escape of, you guessed it, Stitch. The space has more recently been used as a character meet and greet location for him, but now it seems that the location might be getting an overhaul. Both permits describe the work as demo interior, which which means if the permit is put through, the attraction could be demolished once construction in the park starts back up. Since the permit doesn't give us too many details, this could in fact be something a lot less exciting, like a renovation on a backstage room or changes to just part of the building. This attraction wasn't exactly much of a guest favorite, and it's been operating on a super limited basis anyway, so we'll be excited to see what they do with the space if this does go through. Also, of course, the guest relations cast members are still working non-stop. The closure of the parks and hotels is definitely not a break for the guest relations cast members. This team is still available, and they're working super hard during this time to help guests whose travel plans were interrupted. They're helping out with canceling and modifying hotel reservations and advanced dining reservations, as well as answering any general questions as best as they're able. Just keep in mind that given the unpredictable nature of current events, there are some things that even the cast members can't know, especially when it comes to timelines for reopening parks, attractions, hotels, restaurants, etc. So there are a bunch of things that are still happening in Disney World, keeping the property safe, getting it ready for you, and making sure you'll have a place to come home to when the parks reopen. Thanks for listening, you guys. Thanks for watching. Of course, we have all the details you need on the park closures, on any reopening schedules, refunds, rescheduling, anything else that you might need regarding your Disney World or Disneyland trip right